Hello everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Bhatnagar and I am with you with the specific area of accounting and financial management for bankers. And we are on our YouTube channel JAIIB CAIIB English Medium. Good evening everyone, and let's talk about another topic for another day, that is 10 minutes concepts show that is going on. So today I'm going to talk about the topic of simple interest and compound interest. What's the difference between the two and how do we pursue it further? This is a topic from your module C altogether, one of the most important modules of our book. For a reason, it is one of the longest topics, and then the most important topic is module C overall, if I talk about the entire module C further. So let's talk about the topic and continue further. First of all, share the session, like the session, and subscribe to the channel right away, everyone. Okay. Now, the particular topic that we're going to talk about is simple interest, SI. What do you mean by SI, everyone? SI or simple interest means the interest that we are charging on the portion of I invested my funds. So if I invest my funds somewhere, then there would be a amount of interest portion or based upon a certain percentage that I'll be charging on it. है ना? That is called simple interest, everyone. Right? That is whatever your amount that you are putting onto it is, that is you have to take up and then multiply it by the rate, then multiply it by the time. That is how you find out your the interest rate, है ना? Whatever you, obviously on everything you would be receiving a certain amount of interest, and that is what you need to consider for the particular area altogether. So what's going to be the answer there? When we talk about the specific area of simple interest, what is what it simple interest is whatever your principal, whatever your total amount is, you multiply it by the rate, you multiply it by the time. Rate is the interest rate that you're getting, and then you are introducing the time as well. Time period is the period for which that money remains invested. The formula for simple interest is basically P into R into T. Then comes the linear growth. This is basically a growth which is steady for all the period of time, and there's a constant interest amount. It doesn't change. Okay, look at this pointer. There's a principal of $1,000 that you invested somewhere. Okay, let's take it 1,000 multiplied by your rate of interest is 5%, and it is for 3 years, everyone. This is multiplied by 3. So either you can write 5% or you can take up 5 either you can take up this particular 5 divided by 100. That is what we do. See, this is a specific amount. The amount remains the same per annum. It doesn't change per annum at all. That is why it is called simple interest. If we have two things, that is simple interest and compound interest. In simple interest, your principal remains the same. Thus, your principal remains the same. Your interest rate remains constant. Time period is known to you. So, there is a specific amount of money that you receive. That is how we define the area of simple interest, everyone. After simple interest, what do we have? There is something called compound interest. What's the difference between simple and compound interest, everyone? Simple interest is slightly different from that of compound interest. How are these two different? Under simple interest, your rate of interest is something which is in rupees, है ना? Which is in rupees and it is constant. Your amount doesn't change. In terms of compound interest, whatever money you have initially invested, it changes. How does it change, everyone? If I invest a certain amount of money, then if I invest a certain amount of money, there's one particular thing that happens is that, see, if I invest a specific amount of money, then you receive interest. then you receive interest on that. When you have received the interest, that interest is also again reinvested. This is the beauty of compound interest. That means your principal is multiplied further. Acha, looks like this, huh? You have a principal, you put the money into something, you get interest. Your current investment is of principal and the first year's interest. The same thing is again reinvested, so then again a new interest is received. So in this case, again you get principal plus your interest, right? So every single time the interest gets accumulated. This accumulation of interest is something which is called compounding. So in this case, the money that you have invested in the business basically grows further. That is how you define the specific area of compound interest. And in this case, your money grows drastically as compared to simple interest, because there is no constant money. If you compare the investment made in simple interest and compound interest, you receive more if you have compound interest. Because simple, you will receive interest on interest as well, which makes that particular amount more as compared to simple interest, where you receive only a specific amount and that's it. That's the end of the game, right? So that is why under compounding, even the formula is different. Can you see? It is basically P 1 plus R raised to power n. That means whatever your principal amount is, you take your principal amount, है ना? Then you multiply it by 1 plus rate. So 1 plus rate is taken, and once you take the 1 plus rate, and then in the power you have your time. That's how we define your total amount. Done? Chaliye, let's continue further. In this case, this is the formula. P is into 1 plus R raised to power n. So this is basically principal 1 plus R raised to power n. This is how we define this specific area altogether. That's the formula for compound interest. And in this case, how do we work further? Every single year, if you have to calculate, then this is the method that we can use. If we take this particular area, let's make a simple question. If I take P 1 plus R raised to power n, what do we do in this case, everyone? This is your only, you get the amount in this case first, and then you find it out. Your amount, if I invested 10,000, the rate is 10%, and I have to find it for 2 years. So the amount after 2 years would be into 1.1 square. That becomes 10,000 into 1.21. This becomes 1 to 1. It becomes 12,100 rupees. है ना? And if I talk about the interest, what is the amount of interest in this case? This is 1 to 100 minus 10,000. The value of the thing was 10,000. That means total 2,100 is the amount. That is the interest that we are receiving. The difference in this case is your principal is again reinvested. On every single time you reinvest something, your interest increases because your principal is more than the previous year. So in this case, you get more interest. One of the differences, there is a linear growth. There's a steady amount, while in terms of compound interest, your money grows further at a faster pace. Then you have interest is calculated only on principal. Here it is principal plus the compounded interest as well. Here the returns are lesser definitely, but here the returns are also higher. So that's it for the day, everyone. The simple and the compound interest formulas and the concept. I'll be meeting you in the next session. Thank you so much for being there.